Chicos, estoy muy contento, de verdad. Acabo de tener una llamada con Eric, os voy a dejar la llamada por aquí. Veréis que mi inglés es horrible, la llamada se ve fatal, primero se ve a uno, primero se ve al otro, no se nos ve a los dos a la vez. Veréis que es horrible, ¿vale? Es la primera llamada que grabo y la cuelgo a YouTube. Pero bueno, ya está hecha y lo que es el valor que os vais a llevar, yo creo que es una locura. O sea, es una puta locura. Yo he salido motivado de la llamada y os la quería dejar por aquí. Yo a Eric... lo conocí en una entrevista, ¿vale? Por YouTube. Vi su entrevista básicamente y me quedé flipando. Pasó de 0 a 30.000 euros al mes con su agencia de marketing, ¿vale? Y en 5 meses y de venir de cero. Entonces me pareció una auténtica locura, le dije de hacer una llamada, de conocernos y os lo voy a dejar por aquí, ¿vale? Ya os digo, es una locura, os vais a llevar cositas que os van a servir mucho, eso espero. Y nada, chicos, os la dejo por aquí. La llama es una mierda, mi inglés es una mierda. Primero se ve a uno, primero se le va al otro, pero lo que es el valor es una locura y espero que os guste, ¿vale? Chao.
So,
Alright.
first of all, Eric, in order to present yourself, if you had to tell something, a summary of your story, what would you say?
Yeah, so I guess my story is pretty much I was going to university for 2 years and then decided to drop out in the middle of the summer and just not go back in the third year. And I was at 0K months, but I just had so much, faith in myself I was gonna make it. So I decided to just go for it. And now I'm doing about 30K a month. Got some good employees in place and just running ads right now. So things are definitely picking up, and I'm trying to hit 100K months pretty soon. But yeah, it's kind of the whole story. Live in Whistler, I'm moving down to Miami very, very soon. And yeah, it's pretty much the whole story, I guess. So yeah.
Okay, are you in the real estate niche?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, real estate.
Okay. And why you start in the agency, like why you start in this business?
Yeah, I started this. I think it was September 1st. I actually started. That was when I joined like a course, like Charlie's program. Joined September
Mm-hmm.
1st, and now it's like middle of May, so picked up pretty fast. But yeah, that's kind of when I started things.
So I was shocked when I see the interview with Charlie because you have managed to reach 30K a month, isn't it? In like five
Yeah,
months or something like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
I've been in the agency space like 2 years from now,
Hmm.
and it was hard for me to start, and I was shocked like you in a little space to achieve this. What would you say that was the thing that you can reach this goal in a little space? I don't know if I explain
Yeah,
myself. Like
yeah,
why
no,
you
yeah,
think it's the reason that you achieve this in a little
yeah.
space?
Probably just like speed and just like when you have to think, you have to change your whole mindset towards stuff, and you also have to like increase your self-image of someone who's already doing 30K a month, and therefore like your actions and thoughts and beliefs will actually start to like subconsciously manifest, I guess, into reality, and then you'll eventually get to 30K a month. So that's probably it. Also just like, yeah, thinking big and thinking different from everyone else. So I was thinking of new methods of outreach and new automations and all this AI stuff kind of, and that pretty much got me 30K a month because I was like just thinking of new like different methods, and that's eventually just gonna like project you super high. And also just like lots of speed, just discipline, and just lots of like volume, I guess. Like I was doing like SMS blasts, I was having people cold call for me. So you really like start to gain a lot of leverage for yourself once you start having these things in place. And also just like automating looms. And now I'm doing ads, which is like the ultimate leverage because now I'm getting like crazy meetings coming in. So I think I had like 10 meetings the other day in a row,
So,
which was pretty intense. But yeah, that's kind
so
of it. But yeah, just thinking big, just trying out new things, new systems, and you're pretty much you'll get there. So
I think that the main reason that I haven't achieved this is because I think that when I start, I think it's gonna be easier. Like all people is saying that it's easy, that it's gonna be in 5 months like you, and it's not normal. Okay, so what's your opinion on suffering and pain? Do you think that it's important in order to achieve this,
yeah,
or
100%.
what's your opinion?
Yeah, 100%. Pain and suffering is probably the best thing as a young man could go through, to be honest, because it's really gonna project you into the most amount of growth possible. Because like I was saying this on Charlie's interview, but the path of success is pretty much just a bunch of pain loaded up, and you have to get through it and like dig your head in so many times to a point where you experience so much pain, but then the amount of growth is like huge. So that's my all my thoughts on it. Like, for example, if you go to the gym, that's pain and suffering, but you're going to get gains and you'll eventually get business and more benefits out of that. Or even just like cold calling or sending those cold emails, or just like staying up until like 3 a.m, just working and grinding. Like that's kind of what it takes to actually be successful. And people who are scared of pain, I would just think they're not like cowards, but it's just like, you just gotta go for it.
Have to like it, I think.
Yeah,
Have to like pain. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you just gotta like take on as much pain as possible. I don't mean like, walk in the street naked or like just like start like jumping off cliffs, but I'm saying like just do the most painful thing possible in your business and also in the gym as well. Or even just like walking up to girls and stuff. Like that's gonna be painful, but you're gonna get a lot of growth and experience out of it,
Yeah, 100%. I was doing like 5 looms a day, 10 looms a day in the beginning, and I am not achieving anything, and I'm wondering why. And now it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I wanted to
That's
I want to ask you also about the worst moments since you start your agency. Like, what have been most difficult moments in the beginning or now? The worst moment that you have experienced.
probably the worst moment was when I went on a 40 sales call streak of no's. And that went on for quite some time. And then subconsciously, I kept on, like, subconsciously, I started to think, like, okay, what's the point of even setting these appointments if I'm not even going to close them? So it's like a negative feedback loop. And then I just started, I was in like kind of a rut. And then, but yeah, I wanted to quit for like a month straight every single day, but I just kept on going. I just kept on pushing. That's pretty much what separates winners from losers, is their pain tolerance and how much pain they could actually take on, and also if they quit or not. Because the only way to lose in this game is to quit.
To give up. Yeah.
That's all it is.
100%.
Like you're 100% gonna win if you just stick with it and never ever quit and just be disciplined and persistent. There's a 100% chance you're gonna win, because there's like, if you just grind for 12 months straight, or like, let's say like even 24 months straight, or even 12 months, like there's no way that you're not going to be at 10K a month. Like if you just never give up and you keep on grinding, like you're 100% going to get there. So
Yeah, 100%. Like I am like a year and a half, like 1 client, 2 clients, something like this. And it's not until 6 months from now that I'm like hard work a lot more than the first month and the first year. And it was a game changer to me, because I have to like understand that it's not gonna be easy. So
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
And have you been experienced like a cold call, and you experience a person that maybe in a bad day or something like this that is gonna shout to you or something like this?
Yeah, I have, it's honestly, it's not as common as people think it is. Like it's only happened once or twice, and I've done like thousands of calls, but it's like I have a mindset of everyone's an NPC. So it, like, everyone's like a bot. So it doesn't even matter if they swear you. It's like, I've never really played GT. I've only played a few times, but when people are like on the street walking, it's like, I just view people as that. And like when they swear at you, it's like, bro, you're like a bot. You don't even really exist. It's like, it's kind of a bad mindset, but I've been teaching that to a few people, and it helps them so much, because it teaches their mind to, or it teaches like their ego and mind to not get affected by them, because they don't view them as like an actual person. It's just like someone on the internet, So it's like, I feel like I also feel like it trains you well, because it just changes your mindset. And also, yeah, it literally just doesn't matter. Like that's what's gonna just bring you towards more growth anyways. But I honestly, it doesn't affect me at all anymore. So
Yeah. So you said this now, but it hurts you in the beginning, maybe when someone, or well, when it happened to you, something like this, it hurts you, or in the beginning it's like I don't mind.
yeah, honestly, it never affected me at all. Like even my first time, I just like laughed it off when I just went to the next one. Like that's kind of what I feel like people are a bit kind of overreacting about it. Like it's just someone having a bad day. Like you shouldn't have the energy affect you and come into like your place. So it's like you just gotta call up the next person, just keep on going. Like I feel like also when you increase your testosterone by quite a lot through like certain methods and supplements and all that stuff, you start to care less about those things. Like it's like you just don't give a fuck about any of the like little things, and you just keep on pushing for like higher. And also that's when your like pain tolerance really goes up, and you're allowed to like, or you're kind of focus on taking on more pain and more growth and just more drive and all that stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, and what about Autobook? That you have a
Oh yeah.
software or something like that, I think.
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
you
yeah,
tell
yeah.
us about this?
Yeah, so it's pretty much a DM automation software on Facebook. So pretty much lets users just automate their Facebook outreach process. So you can start booking like, 2 to 3 meetings a day pretty easily. It kind of depends on the niche, to be honest, but I'd say at least a meeting day in a bad niche. And you can actually scale this up to like 1,000 DMs a day. So you can start to book like 20 meetings a day if you're if you have it scaled up right. But yeah, that's the whole software. So it's an amazing tool.
So have you created this software? It's yours?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Are you have you contact with a developer or something like this? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I pretty much I know the person who like created the original one, and then I kind of just like changed it up to my own. Yeah.
Okay. And have you had any experience in business before the agency?
No,
No?
honestly, I'm back in the day. I was like I had like a golf ball business like when I was like 12 or 13. I was like selling golf balls to these golfers, but that was pretty much it. Like I always had the entrepreneur mind, and thinking of doing Airbnbs and just constantly thinking of new ideas. Like I feel like my mind was just so programmed for success and like just thinking of so many different ideas and always innovating all that stuff. But yeah, I found myself in the agency space, and it seems to be working super well because once you have that mindset, there's so much flexibility that you could have, and you could really start to use your mind to like really get really good growth. And that's pretty much it. But yeah, I've never really had any other business experience besides this. So yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, you left the university before you start your agency. Did you ever
Yeah.
think what the hell were you doing if it didn't work? Like, did you have a plan B or something like this?
No, I didn't really have a plan B. That was my only plan. Like I just went all in. So there
Okay.
was, yeah, I literally just went all in. I dropped out before when I was at 0K month because I just had the plan and I had the vision that I knew I was going to hit 10K month like very fast. And I think that was just because I was watching so many of Charlie's YouTube videos and his student interviews and all that stuff. So I was like convinced in my mind that I was going to be in there, and then eventually did came true. And I just had so much confidence in myself to actually do it. And I just went on one way mission, and I just went into like a monk mode. Didn't see anyone for like months at a time, and I just went into like a deep monk mode state. And I didn't see anyone. Just grinded for a few months, hit 10K months, and then grinded more than 30K months.
So,
So yeah,
what does it mean monk mode for you? Like, a lot of people think that monk mode it could be like 2 hours a day of working. What does it mean to you, like doing monk mode in this period of time?
yeah. So monk mode means cut out every single thing that's releasing dopamine that's unhealthy. So like no porn, no sex if you want to go OD, but then there's like no junk food, no sugar, no party, no drinking, no drugs, no screen time that's like, well, you could obviously work, but you can't do like TikTok, Instagram, no social media whatsoever, no girls, like no really friends you could see, no like there's nothing. And the only thing you could do is just eat healthy, drink lots of water, and work out. That's pretty much all you have to do for a few months, and you'll get so much progress. Like it's actually insane how much progress you'll get, because once you cut out all the distractions, like there's literally nothing stopping you, and you get so much growth. It's like it's crazy stuff. So I was work, and you also have to work like 12-hour days. I mean, the time kind of the time is a bit flexible, but it does depend on the person. But you definitely want to be doing as much work as possible. I think I was going for like 14-hour days when I was starting, like I think probably 6 days a week. And then Yeah, but you get so much growth. And anyone who's watching this, I would, if I were you and it just starting out, I would go into a very, very deep, intense monk mode, and your life will change forever, pretty much.
So talking about this, I'm gonna ask you that what would you say to someone that wants to start their own agency from scratch and maybe scale it up like you, 30K a month or something like this? What step by step will you tell them to follow in order to achieve this?
So the first one would be, I think that getting a logo and a website is super, like, you don't really need it, to be honest. Like, I would spend a few hours, get the logo up, get the website up, and then in the website, say website is under construction, we'll be back in a few weeks. So you don't have to focus on any about that. And then just start cold calling and just start calling businesses in your area or whatever niche you're targeting, and then just start booking meetings. Just go over Zoom. You could, or even Google Meets. You could get like pretty cheap with Google Meets or Zoom, and then just start closing deals. Like, I would also just study a lot of SMA sales just on YouTube, and just pretty much SMA processes, get a good cold calling script, and just start closing deals. Maybe even do some free trials to start. I think I was doing a few of those when I was first starting out. And then that's pretty much it. Like, it's very, very simple, but people kind of overcomplicate it. But at the same time, it's also a very, very difficult path to go down, because there's lots of pain that you have to go through to actually get like successful in this business. But it's definitely worth it in the end. But yeah, probably just do some free trials. I think that's probably the best option. And there's nothing really you really have to do. You could also start doing, Instagram, Facebook DMs, or email, or whatever you want to do as well. Get a bunch of email domains, get a big list of your like prospect list or lead list in your niche, start writing some email copy, send those all out automatically with like instantly, and then you're pretty much done. Like, it's very, very simple. But there's definitely, I think the biggest thing is not the work, but it's like the mindset shift that you actually need to take. Because when people are first starting out, they're viewing themselves as their old self and their old thoughts and beliefs and old actions. So once you start a new thing, I would suggest go into a completely new environment, and also completely new self-image. So you have to start visualizing yourself as someone who is already making 10K a month, and start doing affirmations and just visualizing and meditating. And that's really going to project you into a new reality, essentially, and a new person. And then you'll eventually start hitting 10K a month super, super fast. But it's probably all I would do. Yeah, I think self-image is probably the most important part, though.
Yeah, and I hear a lot of people maybe talking about free trials like shit. What's your opinion on this?
Yeah, like, obviously, if you're, I think that it's important to, when you're on the sales call, to pitch your service without the free trial first, because then they'll actually view you as high value. But if you're pitching free trial first, they're not gonna like really view you as high value, because you're gonna see their services as free. But once you like pitch them and then they say no, or if they say no, then you can bring on the free trial, and then they kind of have a belief that you're giving them a good deal, and they'll probably take on it. But I think it's still good to actually pitch the initial cost, just because sometimes you might even get a deal out of it. But I think it is slightly hard to do it without testimonials, especially if you're lacking conviction. But if you have a lot of confidence on sales calls and a lot of conviction, when I say I'm about to show you some testimonials, people say, "Oh, I don't even need to see testimonials," because like subconsciously they have a belief that you're just so convicted and you have so much confidence. So you don't even really need testimonials. It kind of depends on your confidence levels. But if anyone who's doing sales calls, I would probably recommend doing stand-up calls, and also just have lots of energy, kind of, but also just like conviction and confidence, and then you'll probably be set. But I think free trials are definitely good. If you're not closing deals and you can't close anyone, just go to free trials. Yeah.
And how you gain this confidence in the beginning when you didn't know maybe that you can bring results to the business?
Yeah, you just gotta have self-confidence. I think it's that's pretty much what it is. Like, at least for me, I think it helped me because I had a mentor. So I had someone who I was going to use their service delivery. Which I kind of put my confidence in that, and ended up working out well with like confidence wise. But I think that people just need to have self-confidence, and you kind of just have to like view your future self as someone who is going to take care of it and someone who's actually going to make it work. Because I have absolute self-confidence in my future self, you know? I think Tate said this, but he has so much confidence in his future self just because it's worked out for him every single time in all of his past, you know, endeavors and businesses. So once you have future self in your, or once you have confidence in your future self, then I feel like you're set, because you'll always find a way to figure it out and always find a way to like get the, you know, business results. And like, honestly, worst case scenario, you can just outsource that to like a media buyer as well. I would also maybe even your first starting out, you could actually put confidence in your media buyer and even use some of his testimonials as well. I heard that that's a very good option. People could just use like a media buyer's testimonials. So yeah.
Yeah. And you've talked about cold calling, like in the beginning, just that is important, or maybe outreach in general. So how, more or less, how many cold calls like you could make at the beginning, or even now,
Yeah.
daily?
So yeah. So at least like per day, if I was starting out, again, I would probably do 250 calls a day. It seems like a lot, but that's going to lead you to the most growth like humanly possible. I know some guys, one of the guys I was going to hire, he said he was going to do 1,200 a day, which was like crazy. But at least when I was first starting out, I think I was doing about like 100 a day, to be honest. But I wish I did way more, because I would have got more growth like way faster. But if you're first starting out, just do as much as you physically can until you start getting headaches. Like just keep on going until your body just like gives way, because that will lead you to the most growth possible and the fastest way to 10K month. Because it's honestly, it's very, very simple to hit 10K month. Like all you need is just a few meetings and then you're pretty much there. Like, and you could get that with just cold calling. So, but at least like for now, I don't really do cold calling myself. I have a team to do that, but I think they do about 200 a day, 250 a day. Kind of depends on the person, but at least that's what I would be doing. Probably like 200 a day. So
Okay.
yeah.
And just out of curiosity, do you know any content creator in Spain, and or maybe an agency owner creator in Spain?
Yeah. Oh, in
Yeah.
Spain? I honestly, I don't know any in Spain, but I think I might be going there in a few weeks actually. So
Yeah.
I think the boys gonna be
Where?
traveling again. In Spain, maybe like we're thinking Madrid. We're not sure yet. So is that like a good place to go?
Let me know, bro.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, it's
Okay, let me know and send me a DM. Okay, Eric, it's been a pleasure for me. I will leave your YouTube channel below in the description, so I hope to stay in touch and send me a DM when you come in Madrid.
yeah.
And see you soon. Okay.
Sounds good. All right, check out the YouTube.